Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andrew. Today we are going to be continuing with the discussion on immoral actions taken by the church throughout history. This is the start of the modern examples. I have three modern examples that I want to talk about here. Before I get started though, I do want to say, as I've said in all my other videos, I do not personally care what you believe. I believe is your right to have those beliefs, and I respect the fact that you have those beliefs. And that is true whether you believe in a God, don't believe in God, believe in many gods, whatever. That's totally up to you, and that's your choice. I'm also not trying to convert you to anything else. I'm not trying to, convert you over to my side. Or anything like that by these videos. I just feel that the communication of these ideas is important, and so and should be thought about and should be seen. So that's why I'm doing this. Incidentally, the only time I lose respect for someone is when they try to tell me exactly what I should believe because their beliefs, they say so. That's the only time I have a problem. The reason I'm talking about these, incidentally, is that when I've told religious people what I believe, personally, I'm an agnostic and a non-theist. I have videos earlier in the series all about that. I'll put them in over here. I'll put them in the bubble up here, and you can check those out if you want, if you haven't seen them yet. And one of the things that I'm told by religious people is that, well, I can't be good, I can't be a good person because God and religion grants you your morality. Well, if God and religion grants your morality, with these modern day examples, especially with the religion more so than God, I don't know if I want a morality from the Catholic Church especially. But we're going to talk about those. Like I said, I have the three examples, and this is the first one. Now, I don't know if this is going to be 1 or 2 videos. I might split it up depending on how long it goes. There's a lot of information here, so bear with that. But here we go. So, the first example of immoral actions in the modern era by the Catholic Church. Pope Pius XII and the Reichskonkordat. I hope I pronounced that decently. I had to check a website to get a pronunciation. So, what is the Reichskonkordat? Well, in 1933, Hitler took power over Germany. And Hitler's first treaty with any power within Europe was between him and the Catholic Church. That is that treaty called the Reichskonkordat. It was signed on July 20th, 1933, by the person who would later become Pope Pius XII. More on him a little later. So, what did the Vatican get in the treaty? Well, the state of Germany guaranteed the right to free worship, to circulate pastoral epistles, letters about how to be a good Christian, etc., and to maintain Catholic schools and property. However, Catholic priests, bishops, and other individuals working for the Catholic Church had to abstain from working in or for political parties. Okay, so what did Hitler and the Nazis get? Well, Hitler gained a lot of enhanced respect in Germany. The view at the time was that a great moral authority, aka the Catholic Church, trusted his word, which went a long way to proving his credibility, not just within Germany, but within Europe as a whole. It created the voluntary dissolving of the German Center Party. The German Center Party was a Catholic political party. So after Hitler was able to enact the Enabling Act, which basically just allowed Hitler to make any decision for the government that he saw fit, which crippled the powers of the other parts of the government in Germany at the time. Basically, the only group that could stop him at that point, or at least be a counter to him, was the German Center Party. But it was dissolved. It was dissolved voluntary based on this treaty, which meant that basically Hitler became unopposed in Germany. The interesting irony here is that the German Center Party was the group that helped him pass the Enabling Act in the first place. So he got them to help him, and then he got them to dissolve, leaving him all the power in Germany. So, and after this act was ratified, of course, Hitler and the Nazis completely respected the treaty and never broke it, not once. Right. Except that basically, as soon as it was ratified, they started breaking it constantly. There are many examples. You can Google them yourselves if you want to hear about them. I won't go into them, but they too much. But they did things like sack monasteries, and they whittled down the Catholic Church's power in Germany to the point where it was basically just the churches and the schools. So this is a quote from Hitler before he created this treaty, talking about the Catholic Church, and I think it's very telling. And he says, I quote, "We should trap the priests by their notorious greed and self-indulgence. We shall thus be able to settle everything with them in perfect peace and harmony. I shall give them a few years' reprieve. Why should we quarrel? They will swallow anything in order to keep their material advantages. Matters will never come to a head. They will recognize a firm will, and we need only show them once or twice who is the master. They will know which way the wind blows." And it turns out he was absolutely true when it came to this. So, Pope Pius XII, as I said earlier, it was before he poped that he actually signed the treaty for the current pope, but he was one of the people in the church that actually pushed for this treaty. What's interesting about Pope Pius XII, in my mind, and remember that this is a pope, the man who is closest on earth to God of anyone else. In 1942, he received an eyewitness report of Jews being persecuted in Warsaw, and the Ukrainian archbishop at the time, I'm going to put his name above me here because I'm not even going to try and butcher it, also informed the Vatican of persecution being carried out in the Lvov ghetto. Pius said absolutely nothing about this. He never spoke out about it, and he even told the US that the Vatican was unable to confirm the crimes, even though he had eyewitnesses' account. And what's interesting to me is that after World War II, and even after the atrocities committed by Hitler and the Nazi Party, Pope Pius XII fought to preserve and continue the treaty. So, yeah, this treaty basically allowed the Nazis to run rampant, to give Hitler all the power, but you know what? We still want what we got out of it, so you should allow us to continue this treaty in Germany.